Oh.
Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call, and I'm just here to let you know that the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of Gorilla's mouth. Viewer discretion is advised.
Gorilla kicks it off with a verbal grenade. No filter, no brakes, just truth unafraid. Doc's who needs him, he's shooting straight. Dropping hot takes at a rapid rate. Mikey rolls in with a file so thick. Knows your features, origin, and the politics. History buff with a dev sixth sense. Quoting Jara like it's self-defense. It's Friday, we're bruised but alive. Barely sane, but we still survive. Push that merch, don't ask how. The Waltons own this circus now. BVP with a smile and a sucker punch. Slides in jokes with a logic crunch. Last mid-levui, chaos contained. That last line of code, you're getting flamed. Then there's Germ with the side-eye glare. Cynical takes float in the air. Nice commit, he lies with his teeth. Force it to Justin or rewrite underneath. It's Friday, we're bruised but alive. Very sane, but we still survive. Push that merch, don't ask how. The Waltons own this circus now. So here's to bugs, to banter and brawls, to teammate to roast while catching your falls. Same time next week, yeah, we'll be back. Shipping dreams on a caffeine track.
And we lost Gorilla.
I think you hit the wrong button.
No. Well, he did say his mouse was acting up, so maybe the cat ate it.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another Waltons review. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that song, but I might get, but as it hurt because I forgot I was going to do that. But welcome. Tonight we're reviewing season 4, episode 23, The Fledgling. There, not to be mistaken with the flogging, which I'm pretty sure when we see John Boy in next week's episode, he might be wanting a little flogging. But with me, I got Resolute Germ. How you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing, girl?
Oh, I'm sore as fuck today. They're like, my back hurts.
Sorry.
Yeah. But how are you doing, Mikey?
Oh, doing great, Gorilla. It's just that I'll remember this one for now because when you dropped off, I said, and as soon as your song was over, I said, and we lost Gorilla. That's the first time that's happened in a while. I was like, wow.
Yeah, press the side button on the mouse.
Yeah, I figured you did.
Yeah, and how are you doing, PvP?
Oh, doing okay. You got kind of a weird mouse. Like, I don't have any buttons on my mouse that I accidentally press and takes me down. So I'm not sure why they would put a side button on that would do something like that. That seems counterproductive or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what you get when you buy a gaming mouse.
Oh, right. I've seen some of those. I want nothing to do with those.
Yeah. Should we say hello to the chat?
Might
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah, welcome. FKHC 2005. What size hail are you throwing at us here? Don't give us down to that puny marble size either. PvP, you already read this one.
And tonight's very special episode, John Boy uses Grandpa's butt plug for the first time without baby oil. Ooh, that's nasty.
That's nasty.
That is nasty.
How nasty. Cleveland nasty.
Wow. now that's an image I'm going to have in my head for hours, and I really don't
Yeah,
like it
thanks, Tim.
either. Yeah, thank you, Tim.
Hey, Debbie did my job for me. Welcome,
You did.
Suzanne. How's it going? And she's saying hello to everyone, which is wonderful.
Hey, Suzanne.
Hey, Suzanne.
And Boomer setting off our tornado alarm. Whoop, 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 whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
whoop, whoop. Welcome, Boomer. And hey, Scurvy, how's it going?
Hey, this is Sir Lemon.
Say hi to
What's up?
everybody. Hi. Hello, 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 hello. And Jay Scurvy likes this song. I'm not sure how you guys liked it.
I think I liked it because you mentioned me first.
No, actually,
Yeah,
I
I-
missed it first.
I enjoyed it.
It was okay, even though not flattering.
Yeah, it was okay though. No, I
Yeah.
did like it. I did. I did.
I thought it was a fun song.
It was funny.
Yeah, well,
Not
that's
funny, ha, but
no,
sort of
I,
funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
And-
a
No,
good
that's
song.
totally all right, Kevin. You had to get that fuel up to those choppers there.
Yeah.
No fun shorts. So I still can't believe you missed a golden opportunity with those shorts. You should have added
Yeah.
Fortunate Son to the chopper videos.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or either that clips Arnold Sage there going, get to the chopper that have the chopper taken off ahead of time.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
still can't believe you never heard of Fortunate Son. It's like in every Vietnam movie ever.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
that's the Creedence Clearwater song? Isn't
Yes.
Yes.
Any Vietnam movie. Whenever
Well,
a chin hook, specifically, whenever a chin hook is on screen, they're playing
Chinook,
Fortunate Son.
right.
Yeah, well, I used to have a 45 RPM single of that song. You know, the little 7-inch black records.
And what the fuck's a 45?
It's 45 RPMs, 45 revolutions per minute, as opposed to a full-size LP back then, which was 33 and a third RPMs per minute.
Yeah, they were like smaller vinyl records, Gorilla.
Yeah, you
Even
put it on
before
a-
your
you put it on-
predating. Yeah.
Put it on the turntable, and then you click on the speed you want. It's either 33, 45, or some older turntables would even have 78 for playing like really old records.
Yeah, what's this turntable and vinyls you're talking about?
No, I'm sure you know about them.
You know about
Yeah.
them
They're CDs for old people.
for old people.
okay.
They were
Yeah.
basically for many years. I think didn't vinyl start in the 50s sometime, Mikey?
Right around when rock and roll started. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I remember. I think Frank Sinatra was putting his early albums out back then, and it was the only real form to buy music for several decades, because we didn't get like 8-track tapes and cassette tapes. They didn't come in until like think sometime in the 60s. So
Yeah.
vinyl was pretty much actually vinyl was huge. It was the main source of music for many years, right? Probably through until the 80s when the CDs started taking over.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see, I'm learning from Gorilla and have posted a few short videos now. Can do so from time to time. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun doing the shorts and stuff. And that what happens when you handle a mouse with a certain kind of hand.
oh,
And
Lemon.
I'll be signing off now. I just take to say a quick hi. I'm not a Waltons watcher. Have a good evening. Oh, these are fun. I learned what Fortunate Son is, and we'll try to include some humor in the future. Oh yeah. And yep.
Yeah.
Well, wait today when I was already in Gitmo. But my car's fixed. There's the bright side.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh
That's a
shit!
good side.
Guess what I forgot to do?
Do
What?
the intro. Do the introduction.
No.
Yeah.
I forgot
No.
to pull it up.
You put a poll up though. I voted.
Not the poll.
Oh.
All right. The year 1936 was a momentous one in the history of the world. It was a year a king gave up his crown for a woman he loved. It was a year Uncle Adolf violated the Treaty of Versailles, and it was the same year that
Versailles.
some
Did we
asshole
just say it right?
in Italy named Benito something Mussolini, encouraged
Mussolini.
by Uncle Adolf's daring over,
Okay.
encouraged by Uncle Adolf, daring overran Ethiopia. But none of these historic events was quite so important with our family as the struggle by one of us to obtain the implausible. And before anybody says anything, I had, due to YouTube's being a bunch of fucking assholes there with their censorship and their algorithm there, I had to adjust the language of this prologue.
I understand. But there were
It's
some
funny,
things I
all
wanted
those
to make
things
sure.
we've covered already in the series.
Yeah.
No, we haven't
Yes.
we haven't mentioned Mussolini yet. You know, and
Right.
Uncle
You
Adolf,
didn't mention yet,
Uncle Adolf here, when they talk about the violation of the Treaty of Versailles, so he's talking about when he took the Rhineland, or are they talking about when they or when they or when he started growing the military?
Well,
Most
you just
likely
went
it's the
in.
Rhineland.
Yeah, it's the Rhineland, but some people call it Sudetenland. But yeah, he
No,
actually
no.
just kind of walked into it and said, "Oh, hey, it's fine," and he didn't give a shit. And he waited 3 years before he attacked Poland, of course. So
No, you're thinking two different things there, Mike. Well, he went in the Rhineland to see if France and Britain would do anything there, and he took the
yeah,
Rhineland in 36 here. And
yeah.
if France and England would have sent their armies in, he would have went back right back into Germany there. There with his head tucked between his knees, and probably waited another 10 years. But
Yeah.
you mentioned the Sudetenland. The Rhineland was on the border of France and Germany that France took from Germany there for reparations in World War One.
Right.
The Sudetenland is the ring around Czechoslovakia that was more than 50% German people
I know.
that asshole Chamberlain took or gave to.
Neville Chamberlain, by the way. So
Yeah,
I know who it
No,
was.
asshole Chamberlain fits a lot better.
I was
Okay.
thinking
Nick Chamberlain works better.
he
Well,
was a useless prick either way.
oh well, he was he was weak kneed, no guts leader.
Yeah.
No,
Just
the thing
like
is,
the
the thing is, if they had, if France and Britain had sent the military in there, I'm sure Hitler would have turned tail and ran back into Germany,
Yeah.
and that might have postponed the war for a number of years. But the trouble is, the Western powers that got the treaty signed, you didn't have the will to back it up with any kind of muscle. They were just a bunch of wimps, basically. So
Yeah.
no wonder Hitler got cocky and said, "Well, I'm just going to
And
take
Uncle
whatever
Adolf.
I want."
Uncle Adolf.
YouTube doesn't like the
Oh,
other word.
oh, shit!
They don't like
I'm just
his last word.
I'm talking about his cousin, of course.
His brother.
Let's see. I had a 4-track before I had an 8-track.
Oh my God! My dad
Wow.
created his own 8-track.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. I tried to give you all nightmares. Hey,
That must have been rare. I don't remember 4-tracks. That must have been really expensive. That must have been really rare.
yeah.
Extremely.
Let's see. A good nickname for the German leader, the Battle Tramp cosplayer. Don't correct how he says Versailles. Gorilla is saying it in a new, better way.
I wasn't trying to correct him. It's just that I'm sorry, but I'm a bit of a historian, and it is in French. And since we know Gorilla's attitude towards the French is not exactly exemplary, that's why I was trying to.
What attitude are you talking about? My attitude towards the French, which reminds me, if anybody wants to buy a rifle, I got an old French rifle. If you guys want to buy it. It's never been fired, but it's been dropped twice.
If I was completely that violent, I'd buy that from you.
Yeah. And how about Richard Chamberlain?
Richard Chamberlain. Well, yeah.
Chamberlain, a notorious vegetarian, always shouting peace in our time. Oh, no wonder you're such a pussy. You needed some fucking meat.
Oh boy.
Ted says that thanks to PvP demonetized.
Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't thinking.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there
All right,
goes
go
my
on,
2
Carla. Let's
pennies.
get to this. Go on.
There goes the 2 pennies.
There goes your 2 pennies.
Yeah, so how he took the Rhineland in March 7th. When did Italy take Ethiopia? Because that only lasted like 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Italian military was very impressive, were they? They were kind of disorganized, were they not, back then?
Okay. So Italy took Ethiopia on October 3rd, 1935. By May 5th, 1936, Italian forces led by General something useless. But so they invaded October 3rd, and by May 7th of 1936, that they officially annexed it.
Ah. That's right.
Okay. So here he got the thing here. Hey, John Boy got the thing. He wrote something about the preparations for the cafe. And before he reads, don't need it. Go here, read the front page. And turns out he's selling the newspaper there, and no one wanted to buy the newspaper, but they wanted the building. And he just wanted to say bye, blah blah blah. Then. And he's offering John Boy the newspaper there, but he offers him. He's taking the press and everything to keep the press going, but he offers them this antique thing there. It's a foot pedal press there.
Printing press, yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's probably a pretty small circulation of the paper, I would guess, right? Because the local community is not that overly populated. So John Boy probably could crank out a once a week newspaper, even if he's got to do it with the foot pedal. I mean, it would be a lot of bloody work, but I'm sure he could probably, because he's got the enthusiasm for it. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
Don't forget, PvP, that some guy named Benjamin Franklin, who had one of the first presidents during the Revolutionary War, probably filled more than half that room. So this one right here is a more deluxe model that's a little bit smaller, but it does a lot more. Yeah,
I bet you this one was made around the Civil War. I bet you it was made around the Civil War.
I think
probably was. Probably was.
I think these old presses were pretty reliable. Were they not, though? I mean, they were pretty good, solidly built machines, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but you just needed to get the right amount of ink. You had to get the right amount of paper.
Oh, a lot of work.
Scarce then, I think. Back then, wasn't it?
It would be a lot of work.
Yeah, so.
Because you got to set all the type too. You got to set the type by hand. Don't forget.
Yeah, they still probably had to do that. They probably still had to do that, but he expanded. He got better equipment. He put it out on the paper. He's selling it there.
That's right. So he did expand on this press for the paper. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's willing to make a deal with John Boy there just because it's John Boy. He offered him he wants $550 for it, which is $12,653.92 today. But
today?
Wow.
In today's money. But
that's a lot.
Yeah, not really. When you think about it here, like our machines at work there are easily 20,000.
Yeah,
our sandblaster is easily 20,000. The ovens are easily 40, 50.
Yeah, but they are more modern equipment, right? Of course, they're going to cost more. I would think. But I mean that's a lot of money though. Back in '36, like John Boy's not exactly rolling in cash, right? So
But he said with the down payment of $50, which is $1,150.36 today, and $15 a week. I don't know how long it'd take him to pay it off. but for $15 a week
A long time.
or a month, or $15 a month, it's $345.11 a month.
Yeah,
So-
I think John Boy would really have to work his butt off to even make $15 a week because, it took a lot of time to make $15 back then.
Let's see, it'd take him 33 months, so basically 3 years. He'd have it paid off.
Mm.
Actually comes out to 33.33333333333333333. All right, I'll shut up.
Oh, by the way, see if you guys catch
When'd you say-
Elizabeth's middle name. It was never said until this episode.
It's Bemidji, right?
What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh, it is? Cool. No. Well, I'll let you find out. But
Yeah.
they revealed Elizabeth Walton's middle name. They never said it before. So
Yeah. So let's see. Hey, the French helped us get the King of England out of our face. By what? Throwing white flags in their faces? Over the British heads?
No, basically what Neville Chamberlain did was he sold his soul and basically told Uncle Adolf, "Hey, go ahead, just walk through. We don't care. We're gonna remain neutral and not say anything." So yeah.
So and let's see, the Italian military was just needed some grease for their hair.
Yeah, well, probably.
Yeah. So let's see. So he has 3 weeks to come up with that $50. Blah 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 blah. They makes arrangement. They shake on it, but no written contract.
Yeah,
So,
back then people were honorable.
Back then, yeah, handshakes were the verbal contract, right, DVP?
Back then, a handshake was a contract for a lot of
That's
people.
what I said. It was better than a written one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Grandpa here is making a really nice wooden chair. I mean, it's a nice rocking chair, but.
Yeah, he is, but then John Boy's bragging, going, "Hey, guess what, Grandpa? I bought myself a pretty breast."
Yeah.
Why did you make John Boy sound like Mickey Mouse there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hey,
folks.
Hey, Grandpa! Hey, I just bought a printing press.
I thought he had a high pitch. I'm sorry, I thought he had a high pitched Virginian accent or some shit. Like he's a backwoods boy. What the hell?
That's funny.
No, it sounded like you really did have Grandpa's butt plug in there for the first time.
He probably.
If you get the bonus features on the DVDs, there's actually a scene where Grandpa's making a wooden butt plug in the shed.
Well, if Grandma has constipation.
Oh God, this is spiraling down really rapidly here.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I couldn't
Thanks
resist.
for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna be in shit for that. Yeah.
Oh crap.
Here.
Oh no! Look what.
Oh no.
Who's reading this?
No, this is wildfires.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. PvP said, fire update, 15,000 people displaced, 2 people arrested for arson. Well, don't you love those geniuses that shouldn't even, they should just not be around. I'll try to avoid the algorithm. Still, 25 fires burning out of control. That's pretty bad. Geez, I hope you got an evacuation plan there, Suzanne. I really do.
Yeah. Well, if you want, you guys can borrow our Second Amendment.
I just hate dumb asses that do stuff like arson, though. It's so stupid. These people need help. They need to be in a psychiatric facility or something.
Yeah, I bet you these are the same people that preach about the environment and climate change.
I'm sure. And they're also the ones that are doing it because Trump's in charge. It's on his watch.
Hey, this is Canada. It's under Carney's freaking watch.
Yeah,
well, we got pissed off with Trump because Trump managed to get Carney in office. So it's a complex thing.
That is true. It looked like the conservatives were going to form a landslide government, and then once Trump started talking, a lot of knee-jerk reaction. People went elbows up and voted liberal for the worst government in our history.
All right, but let's
Yeah, let's not
say
be
what we're about.
political.
That's
Sorry.
Tuesday's
Sorry.
tunes. The French helped us in the Revolutionary War by throwing a bunch of white flags over top the British heads, huh? And Sudan is the area where you okay? 6 fires near me, scurvy. Over 250. Holy shit! Jesus Christ.
254?
You know, are they
Damn.
doing? I mean, are they doing anything to try and get this situation under control, Suzanne? Like that? I mean, that's a lot of fires. Like I've gone through a lot of bad forest fires here in BC, but I don't know if I ever remember as many as 254 all burning simultaneously. That's a lot of fires.
Yeah.
That's even more than I've ever seen in Arizona
It's
during
crazy.
the heat of summer. You know.
Yeah. And hey, Outlaw Bill, how's it going? Welcome.
Hello, Sydney Outlaw Bill.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine, Suzanne. We want you to keep us updated on those fires. We want to make sure you're safe.
Do they have
Yeah,
does the government there have any kind of evacuation plan in place, Suzanne? Like, are they issuing advisories? Because I know if it gets really dangerous, they'll issue a evacuation, emergency. Like just you have to leave if they issue a evacuation order. So I don't know if it's got to that where you are, but you really hopefully have some means of getting out of there.
Yeah.
I hope she does. Yeah.
So, well, wait, man, that's the worst face I could have gotten John Boy on here. So yeah, he got this worked out. He's gonna go to school. He's gonna work full time, but still get his studies done, and he's gonna do it all on his
we're
own.
not going to be able to help.
Because
And he's pointing his finger at his dad to emphasize a point, correct? I don't think he's done that very often to his dad, and point a finger at him.
No,
Like,
he's just doing normal hand gestures when he's talking. So
I understand.
yeah, he's getting
but okay.
Oh shoot, I missed it. I had like the perfect face on him. So he's gonna tell his teacher he just has to schedule this thing, even though his teacher says it's impossible. Blah 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 blah. But his teacher is the one of the most supportive of his novel shit.
No, the good thing is, though, I mean, I thought it was nice that Paul understood, that John Boy, this was extremely important to him, and the teacher gets it too. He's like, because John's a good student and a good son. They both respect, they both think he's, making probably a reasonable decision because he does love the written word so much. You could kind of see him wanting to run the newspaper, at least for a while. So they both kind of give him the green light here, right? They're like, okay, as long as you can you can do it all.
No, they're letting him teach it the hard way. They're letting him learn the hard way.
Yeah, well, maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know.
So this is the guy we get introduced to in the first college episode. Apparently, his old man's.
I was just gonna say, did any of you guys get like vibes from this guy that he might be like a problem? Like he might be like a bad roommate or something. Like I kind of got, vibes off this guy. Like I don't know if I trust this dude.
No, I get the vibe like, can I get a burger today and I'll pay you back on Tuesday?
I mean, like Wimpy?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, right? He seemed like maybe he would be, maybe he wouldn't pay his half of the rent or something and be like a leech, right?
Or a freeloader.
Well, that's the same thing, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But of course, I won't give any spoilers away. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so he's getting a self-reliance episode, blah blah blah. So John Boy's going around trying to find a job, and he tells it he had some guy apparently left the job there. So he goes, well, this person can recommend me. Oh, then it turns out the guy actually knows the dean, so the dean will recommend him. He'll give him the job. Which really, do you really need a recommendation for? All right, 50 cents. All right, here's your ticket. You really need a reference for that.
Well, it's not that he needs a reference about his skill because it's actually obviously a low skilled job, but he needs a reference as to his reliability and character that he'll show up for work on time every day and do the work. Is what I think the clerk guy here is questioning him about, right? And as soon as he hears the dean, he's a student of the dean's, then he's like, okay, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like that, right? It does help if you got people that can recommend you and have a good solid word, right?
All right. Jerem, can you do chats real quick while you guys go through chats real quick while I deal with this?
Yeah, go ahead, Gorilla.
Yeah. Let's see, where did you leave off here?
I think where Suzanne said Manitoba, right? Yeah,
Manitoba?
A little bit above that. Yeah, you got it, Jerm.
Okay, Outlaw Bill, hello.
To London. And then Suzanne says hello to Outlaw Bill. Bill says he's dropping by for a like. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, thank you. Lemon says, let's hope they handle it better than California handled their last round of fires. No shit. Let's hope they do something.
Oh, they can do anything. California literally didn't lift a finger to try to stop it.
No.
It popped up, and they said, oh, no, fire, fire. And they started running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen chickens with their heads cut off? By the way, I have.
Yes,
I have. Yes,
it's pretty damn freaky when because I had to go help out a friend of mine one time, and they had a chicken coop, and then they decided to harvest a bunch of little bastards, and my friend had the axe, and he grabbed the chicken by the legs and stuck it on the old tree trunk, the chopping block, and wham with the axe, and the chicken's head goes flying, and the chicken flies around like. It's crazy how long it takes those things to finally, die completely. It was like 30 seconds. It was flapping around, running around. It was a sight to behold, I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess their brain extends down into their neck a little more than normal.
I don't know what it is. If it's like maybe just nerves and reflex muscle contractions, germ. Like I really don't know, but anyway, I had the great enjoyment of putting the little bastards in the boiling water pot so we could defeather them, right? Pull all the feathers off. Boy, did that stink. Oh,
yeah. Well,
wow.
my mother's sister used to own a farm, and when they had to chop the heads off, the thing that my mom's sister Elizabeth explained to me was there's this unconscious reaction, and when the head goes, the rest of the body goes into what they call like a spasm, and then it's kind of unconscious, uncontrollable, but it only lasts for like a few seconds, and then they die. So
I remember they flapped around for about half a minute, about 30 seconds.
Yeah, how are we doing on chats here?
We're doing okay.
We are down to Manitoba on fire.
Yeah,
Manitoba's on fire.
Yeah. So oh yeah, I see that they had a bunch of fires clustered together. Now, we are okay for now. That's good to hear.
Good, Suzanne.
Bill's telling us to smash that like button and subscribe share. Thank you very much, Bill. And the strategy for setting PvP to put out the fires with eggnog not working thus far.
I don't think you got that much eggnog in the country to put out all those wildfires.
Yeah, and it doesn't make a very good fire flame retardant either.
Yeah, I don't think the choppers are built for shooting out eggnog.
I've never seen that would make me laugh so hard. Jesus, eggnog for retardant. Oh God.
So yeah. So he's telling him to get the application back, post haste, blah blah blah.
Now, let me ask you something, Gorilla, and also Germ, and PvP. Was filling out applications back in the 30s, was that a lot easier Because like it seemed like it got harder over the years
Yeah.
when I had to fill out applications for jobs.
I would imagine it was like I think a lot of things were much simpler back then, which is kind of one
Definitely.
reason that so many people have nostalgia for the past because you know, hey, I sound like an old coot, but I know when I was a kid, when I was young,
There's a youngster.
Well,
it
put
was
it
a
this way,
simpler time.
well, put it this way, a lot of applications are online now.
Oh,
And
yes.
when they
yeah.
ask for your gender, you want to click mail. It's like spinning the fucking wheel, fortune wheel.
Yeah.
Well, I
exactly.
remember when I was job hunting like 5-6 years ago before I got my regular job. I remember filling out a couple of those online. Oh my God, talk about torture. I think I'd rather have a root canal than fill those out, another one of those out. Because I remember one, it was a grocery store chain. I applied. No kidding. The resume to fill it all in must have been like 12 pages on the internet on my computer, right? And the number of questions and the crazy questions, like just really weird questions, like really personal, intrusive type of questions about, how do you, what do you think of this? Would you, how, in this situation, if you saw an argument between two co-workers, how would you deal with it? Like crazy shit like that, right?
I tell you how I deal with it. Well, I grab both by the neck, throw in the parking lot, start selling tickets and taking bets.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing you don't want to put in an application form, right?
Oh, is that why I didn't
Gorilla,
get the job?
Gorilla,
Yeah,
But-
probably.
Gorilla. Yeah, don't change what he's saying right there. Now I can tell you right now, if you add a certain word and change a word in there, you're going to make it a sexist joke. Can you imagine what word that is?
Hand?
No. Well, yes, change hand, but what would you change it to make it like sexist?
Hard?
No. 6 children and her not able to turn a trick to work.
Oh God.
Oh.
I told you. Just
Yeah.
one word you
So
have
we-
to change. That's
Yeah.
how close they
So we
were.
got so we got this indecisive lady there trying to figure out just buy a one way. It's like so easy. Just buy a one way ticket and buy another one back, which was so this is a 50-cent ticket. So it's $11.50 for to go to where the hell she was going, and there I'll go blah blah blah. Then here we got blah blah blah. He's telling John Boy falls asleep. The teacher gives him a lecture.
They never
going,
had that in previous editions, but they said later on at that point it was never added before. But that was the scene that was added on later in DVD special editions. Him falling asleep in class at the 14-minute 25-second mark.
Well, I think it's kind of established he's overworking himself.
Yeah, obviously. But I'm glad
Yeah.
they added that scene because it wasn't there in the original series before. So
Weird. Wow.
yeah. And hey, Moira, meow meow.
Oh, meow
Hey.
meow, Moira.
Meow meow.
Yeah.
Hey, Moira,
Meow, meow,
we've never had a female perspective. Moira, the link is there. Even if you
Well,
haven't
she'd
seen
have to
about
watch the
Waltons.
episode first.
Oh,
Mikey.
well, we can explain it to her in like 5 minutes.
No, but that'd
That's
be giving spoilers away.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
thank
we-
you, Suzanne, for putting the link in.
I mean, it's nice of Moira to show up in the chat, of course, but
I love
it
seeing
is better if everybody has seen the episode previously.
Thank you, Moira. She
I mean,
gave
maybe
us all the honor.
maybe Moira has seen it. I really don't know.
Yeah. And she put the pussy emoji in the chat there.
Okay, so Moira's putting her pussy in the chat. Oh my goodness, I can't.
Hey,
my
you said
goodness.
that one. I just said she put the cat emoji in there.
Gorilla just let you into that PvP. You walked right in.
You
Hey,
set
go
me
ahead.
up. You set me up. You set me up.
Okay, I sense a clip.
Oh God, no.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
He already has clips like that.
I'm going to shut
yeah,
up now.
I know he does.
Yeah.
Good thing. It's a good thing John Boy's got an understanding professor here.
Yeah. It basically tells him just don't overdo it, blah blah blah, because he obviously always has to work that. I seriously thought John Boy was. Did anybody else think like when as soon as he was falling asleep in the chat or falling asleep in class and stuff that he would crash his car?
I
That
would
would've
have
made it
never
more
guessed.
interesting. Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
actually even think about it, but
Yeah. Well, it would have been
I-
worse if he had fallen asleep while he was trying to drive back to get into an accident. Yeah.
No, but I seriously thought he was gonna fall asleep behind the wheel, and crash his car.
That would
Yeah,
have
but let's
been
hope he doesn't crash his car. If he
far
does,
more
and
interesting.
he doesn't get
and
hurt, you know.
Yeah, and Moira
Just a
says
little
no.
bit too
PvP
much
is
for him.
correct.
go ahead.
I might have to buy a lottery ticket. Someone's agreeing with PvP here. Moira says
Oh, wait
PvP
a
is correct.
second.
But see it and explain it might not be proper enough for me to give an opinion. Well,
so are you saying Moira backing me up is the equivalent of Jill cursing? Is that what you're stating?
yes. Someone
Yes.
back
More
you
rare.
up.
That's very
Yeah.
strange. Very strange equivalency, but oh well.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's kind of like a unique metaphor.
So anyhow, Paul, I need to have a word with you.
Deer nearby. A ridge.
Oh.
You're pretty sure about that, aren't you?
They've been up in the high meadow grazing all morning. About now, they'll be moving down for water.
Yeah. Now we're just gonna take this one line by line because Warner Brothers is a bunch of fucking jackasses.
Well, I thought we knew
But
that
it-
already.
But you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of interesting here, seeing how Pa here knows the where the deer are always gonna be. You know, you pay attention to small stuff like that. You know, so they can feed the family.
Well, yeah, I mean, I imagine he goes out hunting occasionally to get some venison or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Not interested in hunting, son.
Tell you the truth, there's something kind of serious I wanted to talk to you about.
Now I'm kind of serious there, what? But you know, it's kind of interesting watching him just walk here, eyes down as he like he doesn't want to look his dad in the eye right away when he's trying to tell him this. And that's
Yeah,
the
why
next
is
smokehouse
he-
they got
why
in the
is-
background.
I
Yeah, why
completely
is he
disagree
doing
with that.
that?
He should be excited. Johnny
Right.
Boy should be excited at this point.
Yeah, but now he's getting self-conscious and self-doubt again. Term.
Well, he's losing his free ride.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But John Boy's realizing he's beyond his limitations at this point, and so he's got to move into town where he's closer to everything, right? And he doesn't have to do that drive every day back and forth.
But it's only 28 miles at 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, but that's hours. That's hours if you factor in both a round trip every day, right?
Are you saying that it's 28 miles one way, so he'd be going almost 60 miles both ways each day?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
10 miles an hour.
That's
At
a
10
long.
miles an hour, that's a
that-
lot.
That's a long drive every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, remember when Grandma and Libby were freaking out when Libby was going 22 miles an hour? And Grandma thought she was trying to kill her?
Yeah, I remember
Uh.
that episode. Yeah, that's kind of funny for the ladies to be freaking, going at that speed.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
Grandma would probably freak out. I would go on my trip there where I'm going 75, 80 miles an hour to work.
Well, no, it'd be the equivalent of Grandpa trying to go 35 miles an hour in a 10-mile-an-hour space.
No, but I mean my hometown is a 45-minute drive from where I'm located, right? And
Right.
it doesn't sound like a long drive, but you drive it, especially over all the mountains we've got here, and all those, up and down on the freeway, right? Up this hill, down that hill. It's you got to really be wide awake and have both hands on the wheel when you're driving that road. Even though it's an excellent highway, the terrain out here is very mountainous and challenging to drive through. And 45, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you drive it and it's not fun. It's pretty exhausting, even one way. I wouldn't want to do even 28 miles two ways every day. That would, even though I guess it's a lot flatter here. I mean, it is quite flat, I guess, in Virginia.
Well,
there.
that
But-
and even quickly, I want to, like I mentioned before, the airport here is not directly in downtown. Everybody gets that wrong. A lot of tourists get that wrong. It is 30 miles outside of town. It's in a completely different suburb called Mississauga. Now, if you add the mileage it takes from us here in Scarborough, which is about 15, 20 miles, and you add that other 30 miles, that's about 50 miles to the airport. And that, even by transit and with traffic, it would take at least 60 minutes to get.
Well, don't forget you're in the Toronto area, and you've probably got the most horrific traffic in the whole country.
Oh my God! Are you kidding? The 401.
Well, you guys are the Los Angeles of Canada as far as traffic goes.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
the
Anyway,
we're getting sidetracked.
Way sidetracked.
Sorry, sidetracked again.
So
Shoot.
well, you're good then. Bad joke.
Shoot.
Shut up, Mikey.
Well, Daddy, I like my job. I really do. It's a fine job. It's an exciting place to be, especially for a writer. You meet so many different kinds of people, and they're all traveling here and there, and they got stories to tell, and some of them are laughing, and some of them are crying. And
Come on, get to the fucking point.
He's buttering Paul up like an old sandwich. Come on now.
No, he's meandering around there. But
no,
who does that make an excellent poach?
He's buttering him up. Look at Paul's smile, and it's working. Paul's falling for it.
But
No,
I just wanted to say this would be a
going
great.
on?
I would love this as a poster right here.
Are you saying you want to
Each
decorate
other.
your room with Walton's posters, Gorilla?
No, Ralph, wait. Oh,
No, he secretly wants Mary Ellen somewhere.
I never realized Gorilla had such an enormous crush on Ralph Waite, but it's starting to become
Oh
clear. now.
no!
Some of them even tell you their whole
That'd
life
be like
story.
saying you wanted grandma's poster up somewhere.
No. I last time I had posters was in the 70s as a teenager, and I had my entire room covered in rock star posters.
no. Ralph Waite's one of my favorite actors.
He's a great actor.
He's
Yeah,
a good
I
actor.
agree.
He's a great actor. I agree, but
He is one of the great TV actors in history, in my opinion.
he is. But I'm wondering if Gorilla has a separate little space reserved for him in hero worship.
So the girl just got his Ralph Waite altar with a photo and a frame and a gold frame with little candles he lights every night, on each side of the gold picture frame. And he gets on this little bench and kneels down and does a prayer for Ralph Waite's soul in heaven.
Well,
and
Hey,
It's very
PvP, you're forgetting the Kleenex and the lube.
oh, well, you got that too, I'm sure.
I got you silent on that one. I got
And
you
you
silent
thought,
on that one.
and people
I
thought
got
my earlier comment would get things demonetized. Well, I think we just crossed that threshold.
Yeah, I got
quite a
you.
bit.
I got you
And,
silence on that one.
Yeah, and how about what Gorilla does is like at night before he goes to bed, he says, "Go away, you livy bitch. I want Ralph."
Yeah, we got some shocks more here up to put the shocks.
God.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I got you silent as much as when I got the guys silent on some
Hey, Mario, welcome to the Bad Boys Walton Club.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
If you got time to listen. Well, it's an exciting place.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, son.
Only problem is that there just don't seem to be enough hours in the day for me to do everything I want to do.
I don't want you killing yourself over work.
right there, that's right here.
Just ruining your health. It's not worth it.
Yeah, and that's some great advice right there. He gives don't ruin your health,
It is
don't overwork yourself,
wonderful.
or everything you work for is going to be gone.
Yeah, Gorilla, it's wonderful advice. But here's what I question. One quick thing I want to question about John Boy is most of half the time he's saying what such a great job this is and all this other stuff that he's doing, but he's really lying through his teeth. He's trying to keep up a front, right? He's trying to be pleasant. He's trying to sell it to Pa, but at the same time, he knows in his own mind that this is really just too tiring. But yet, I got to make it look presentable, right? I got to make it look appealing so that my dad will believe me.
No, I think he's enjoying his job, but it's just he's getting worn out from having to do so much.
I don't think John Boy's being deceptive to Pa at all. Actually, Mikey, I think he really does love the job because everything he said, he loves meeting people and hearing all their stories, even if he's only talking to them for a minute. He's getting, he's filing all those life stories. Like you said, some people are laughing, some people are crying. He's filing all that contact with, maybe 100 people a day or whatever, filing all that away in his brain for his writing, for his future writing stories, right? So, it's all kind of part of the same thing.
I'm just saying that he's feeling tired, but he's not really showing it to his Pa. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he doesn't want to do that because that would be not good.
Right.
Yeah.
But he is saying that he does, this is what leads up to this. I won't spoil it.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking, sure would save a lot of wear and tear on my hide if I didn't have to come home every night.
Yeah, that's a reasonable thing there. That's one way to get him the hell out of the house.
Well, I think it's a very mature decision on John Boy's part, too. It's very practical, right?
Yeah, but this ain't the first time he's moved out either.
That's true. But I think this time that Pa and eventually Ma are both going to agree. Yeah, this is the time he needs to do this, and it's got to be real. He's got to want to do it, and be on his own. Truly, because he's tried that before, right? A couple times.
Well, the thing is, before he kind of moved out prematurely, and he couldn't quite deal with things. This time, I think Pa senses that his son is finally growing up and becoming a young man, like moving into adulthood. And Pa is willing to trust his decisions in that sense, since he does think he's matured for a while now. And so he's like, and he also realized this, like John Boy wanting to buy the printing press. He's basically chasing a dream here, right? Like, because he wants to be a professional writer. He did get experience working for the guy with the newspaper. He'll get even more experience being a publisher of the newspaper, and doing the publishing, the printing, the sales. I mean, he learned so much about how to run a business too. And Pa's probably thinking, yeah, he's going to learn a lot if he can get this dream of his into reality off the ground, right? So I totally understand why Pa is being reasonable here.
Yeah. Sorry if we took a little too long there, Gorilla, especially me. Sorry about that.
Gorilla's probably having his mouse attacking him again or something.
I hope not.
Maybe it's one of his kiddos.
What's up?
We thought that the mouse was attacking you again.
We're just waiting for a gorilla. Something's happening. Something's happening.
Gorilla's getting a booty call text, so we're gonna have to.
Oh shit!
Speed this up.
All right.
I thought she wasn't arriving until a month from now or something.
I guess she just couldn't wait.
What's up?
Hey, she wants Gorilla.
All right, I'm back.
All right, you're back.
Okay, let's keep continuing here.
Yeah, no, my dad called. He forgot my birthday.
Okay, I don't think Germ was exactly accurate in that comment then.
Well, what did Germ say?
Oh, he said you were getting a booty call.
Oh, no, she knows to call it 10. All right, no. All right.
Okay, that's a good scene.
Now, are you telling me that you want to move away from home?
I like how he does that. Ralph Waite does these little pauses here. Then he just goes back and kind of asks another question.
Is he thinking that he's heard the same things before? That's probably what we're referring to, right? Because he's tried it a few times before.
He's thinking, finally, one less mouth to feed. The boy should have been out of here 2 years ago.
That's right, because they can become horn dogs again and create another child.
Oh no,
no.
that's
That's defeating the whole purpose, Mikey.
Oh, sorry.
You want to get rid of them as they pass down the conveyor belt of
Yeah.
life. You don't want to keep more of them coming online.
Yeah, he needs to shoot blanks before that happens.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, though, Pa's character's always been thoughtful. Kind of, okay. Maybe he's not the most educated man in the world, obviously, but he's got an internal, natural wisdom in his mind that works for him very, very well, which is probably one reason he's built such a strong family and a reliable lumber business around him. And he's always going to think things out before he makes a decision. That's just Pa. And, that's what he's doing right here.
Yeah, and he's not naive at all. So, I mean, he's
very worldly. Well, he did fight in the war, so obviously he's
that works. Yeah, when you fight in World War One.
Well, I mean, he wasn't always in the small town because he was in the war. I'm sure he, probably marched through marched through some big cities too, right? And spent maybe time there even. So,
he spent time in Paris. We know that.
There you go. Paris back then would have been a very worldly.
Yeah, because he met up with a couple friends of his, and then they went for the night of the town at all of Paris's brothels as the French were thinking the Americans were getting the Germans the fuck out of there.
Well, what year was John over in Paris?
It had to have been either 17. It had been 17 or 18.
So it was around the end of the war then. Okay.
Yeah, well, America didn't enter the war until 17.
Yeah,
we ended it there.
Because as an art history major, I've studied enough about Paris history. Connected to art, of course, but Paris would have been an extremely vibrant, lively, very metropolitan city back in those days. I mean, you didn't have the racism that was in the U.S. back then.
Oh, you had plenty of racism.
Oh, but you had some very, very, some very big stars that were black people that were very famous in France. I forget her name. She was a dancer. She was very, very highly thought of in Paris at the time.
Well, she was one of those barista dancers. There's a reason she was popular.
No, but she was very talented though. She wasn't just some simple dumb stripper. She was even today there's the people that know about her recognize her talent. But it was a very metropolitan city is what I'm trying to say. So I'm sure John, if he spent some weeks there, would have seen a lot of things he never even dreamed about when he was back on Walton's Mountain, right? So he's got a worldly knowledge in him.
Olivia wouldn't do that kind of stuff.
Well, he did try to get him and Grandpa to build that wooden stripper pole, but Olivia would not have any.
You don't want it made out of wood. You'll get splinters up the cooch.
Hey, that sounds like a good splinters up the cooch. That sounds like a possible song title, Gorilla. Okay, too far.
I'll work on it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I've been thinking about a boarding house in Westham or something like that. It wouldn't be forever,
We all say that. Once we make the break and get out on our own, get used to it, we stay out on our own.
What are you talking about? You left and you came right back to Grandma and Grandpa.
Well, he did leave for a little while, and then, by the time he got back from the war, Grandma and Grandpa couldn't live on their own anymore, and they had been taking care of his wife and son for 2 years.
Was John Boy born at that time?
He would have had to have been.
Okay.
Because he's 21 now in 1936. So he was born in 15.
Okay.
Tell me something. What do you think Mama's going to say about that?
She'll grieve some, worry a lot. That's all part of raising a family. She'll stand up to it.
I'll talk to her about it.
Yeah. you don't get moments like this in any of the modern TV shows. It's just a nice, slow, drawn out conversation. Well, not drawn out, but good back and forth. The nice pauses, the nice eye movements. I wish we could get more of this.
Well, back then there was a thing
Strange.
called subtlety.
Mm.
There's not much subtlety in the modern day world. I hate to say it, but it's, I think, pretty true.
I had all kinds of things saved up. Things I wanted to say to you when this time came. Now it's here and I can't think of any of them.
No, don't you hate it when you have those fucking mind farts like that?
What's
Like
that
I've
again?
had mine. Don't you hate it when you have those like little brain farts like that?
Well, just wait till you get another 20 years on you, Gorilla. That'll become much more common.
He can't remember.
Hey, everybody has brain farts. At least if they admit to them.
Yeah.
I wish you could.
All right, so there's enough of that. So about go work at the bills, blah blah blah. Oh, right here. I don't believe that he didn't grunt when he got up. Right here. Oh, this would be another great poster right here. But this here is advice everybody should learn, and I'm gonna make.
Always pay your debts, son. Don't take unfair advantage of any man. Don't let any man take unfair advantage of you.
There you go. Pay your debts and don't let someone take advantage of you. That's like, if any lesson could be learned from this episode, that would be that.
That's
Hey,
a great
Boomer,
line.
I'll be there after. I'll be there after this. After the review here, we're actually making pretty good time tonight. But yeah, that's like the perfect advice that anybody could give a person right there.
Find yourself a good woman. Remember, you're my son.
Just that little subtle. He's like, he's proud to call him son too.
I love this scene in this episode. I think it's one of the best scenes between John Boy and Pa in the entire series so far. It's so good. It's just so solidly written, solidly acted. That's an A+ scene for me.
Yeah. So anyhow, he's asked about the job. He's go get a meal. But anyhow, he has a burger. It's the best little burger. And she's saying it has a secret ingredient, red wine that her husband makes. So
To deal with.
So.
Oh, here's the wimpy moment you mentioned, Gorilla, coming up.
Just that.
Wimpy,
that burger
Papa?
that's a cheap ass fucking burger right there. It's 15 cents for the burger.
It's a 1930s burger, Gorilla.
Okay. Do you trust the $3.45 burger?
That was $3.45 for one burger?
Yeah.
No, that's too much. It couldn't be that much.
15 cents in 1936 is equivalent to $3.45 in today's money.
Well, I last time I got a burger like a week ago, it was like $8 or $9, and that you have the food pouring on the drive-through, and it looks so good with overflowing with lettuce and tomato and mayonnaise and blah blah blah, and then you buy it and you take it out of the bag and it's this soggy piece of shit on a bun with one slice of tomato and one lettuce leaf and probably half-ass time, not even any mayonnaise on it. And that's like $8 or $9. So,
well, I don't eat mayonnaise there. And usually when the places do mayonnaise there you get a freaking McCum sandwich.
I'm saying that, I guess back, that's probably not that far off the track for $3 or something.
I don't know. It seems a little cheap for a burger.
I'll tell you the best times.
That size.
The best fast food was in the 60s because you used to be able to get a really great burger, like a a great burger with lots of ingredients for like $5 or something. Like it used to be really good.
Yeah. So
everything's gone downhill since then.
So anyhow, he found a way. He's gonna get a place there. They're gonna split. He's gonna pay the rent and blah blah blah. John Boy splits it, but her secret is red rum. Actually, that sounds kind of delicious.
You ever heard that song? Red rum. You ever heard that song?
No, but I was thinking I might try making red rum burgers one of these days. I'll see.
Why not?
I'm gonna try to make. Oh, did you see that? Look at that look on John Boy's face for God in the still. I love that face. I love that. Let's see. Mikey set off the fire alarm again. And Boomer said we had to go. Take your boo. Did Mikey set off the alarm again by overcooking the Hot Pockets in the microwave? Yeah, and this is why Suzanne decided to give him a chance again to start to cook on the stove here, and he didn't want to, but she kind of forced him. So he purposely burnt the food and set off the smoke alarm there, so Suzanne will ban him for another 2 years. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So,
Mikey ain't here to protest, so it has to be true.
So anyhow, they're gonna split a place, and she tells him, "Go to Mrs. Butterworth across the street." So he goes and buys himself a burger, and they split it. And it's $3 a person. Was it a week or was it a month?
A week.
So $3 a week per person. So it's $70 a week per person.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. Rents are a lot more nowadays.
And then does that include meals and everything?
Said 3 meals. 3 meals a week, I think she said.
No, that'd be 3 meals a day.
3 meals a day. Holy shit! John Boy's going to be the gorilla size in a couple of months.
No, well, I eat 3 meals a day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there's a reason you're a 800-pound gorilla.
That's why I have ham hands, and I get called a fat ass.
That's why you got ham hands, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Scurriers or retaliatory striking against police presence earlier in the building.
By the way,
so he's confirmed that he burnt the Hot Pocket. Ham and cheese is the most flammable Hot Pocket.
Now we know that
this house, Kirby.
We know the truth. It's Mikey burning shit on the fucking stove that's setting off the damned alarm all the time.
All right. So,
it would be entertaining if they would just change the alarm to sound like the Enterprise Red Alert sound. That would be fun.
All right. Now this is very good. I'm just going to play this couple lines here.
Okay.
Your daddy went away. I tried to pretend it wasn't happening.
Well, when his daddy was going away, he was going with his Uncle Ben to go possibly to go to war
and get shot at.
Of course, you're not prepared.
Yeah, and be a target.
Yeah, and notice that she never mentions Ben. Like, I think they've only mentioned his brother Ben one time.
Well, probably since he died in the war, she probably has tried to put it out of her mind. Because you don't want to dwell on somebody, your one of your children dying in the war. It's not like you want to, think about that every day of your life.
You don't want to forget them either.
I don't say she's forgetting.
You remember them, but you don't remember them with other people.
You remember them in the back of your mind. Maybe occasionally you bring it to the forefront of your mind, but it's not healthy to. I've heard people who lost a loved one, and 20 years later they're still grieving and they're still miserable and their life is hell. And I'm like, move on. Life is short, and you're wasting it just grieving continuously. It's not worth it. You got to move on, and that's what Grandma did. Grandma's a smart woman. She might be a very sensibly basic kind of backwoods woman, but she's not dumb.
Well, let's ask you this, PvP. If she was 20 years younger, would you date her?
Well, I can't imagine. How the hell am I supposed to answer that? Seriously,
I don't even know what that has to do with the grieving.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with grieving a lost kid. Like I did you even hear what the hell we were talking about, Mikey? Or were you...
I heard about the Ben. Yes, I did.
Okay,
I did.
well, I mean, I can't even think about that because one, Ellen Corby was an actress, and I don't even know what she looked like 20 years before this, so there's no way I can.
I was just trying to lighten the mood, guys. Okay, that's all.
By the way, I just wanted, since we're sidetracked again, I wanted to mention, since nobody seemed to believe that there was a famous Paris dancer back, she was called Josephine Baker, and I put her wiki page up, and she was legendary. She still is among fans of the dance.
Yeah.
The only thing is, though, she didn't hit Paris till 1925.
Oh, I called it. Looking at that costume there, she was a stripper.
She was an
not that we didn't believe
dancer.
you, PvP. It's that we didn't care.
Well, I don't care that you don't care. So there.
There. All right. So anyhow, here.
Well, when the pain settled in, it hurt bad. I'm not pretending with you. It hurts already.
Oh,
right, enough of that.
I love you too, Grandma.
It's the only scene it gets, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it gets handed like 3 Bibles, too. Mama says, read your Bible, make sure to eat. You want some of my fried chicken, and it's kind of like he's happy finally because he's gonna get his room there. There, he hugs him. The girls are happy. Now it's Ben. This is the part that got me. You think it'd be like Mary Ellen or Erin crying, or even Elizabeth, but it's freaking Ben crying.
Ben's crying.
Yeah.
Why is Ben crying?
Because his brother's leaving.
Yeah. And if you guys,
Ben's
if you have listening close, sorry, go ahead, PP. Sorry.
Ben's never been that wimpy before. It's like, geez, Ben.
Yeah.
Bringing that goodbyes to the family. When he said Elizabeth's middle name, which was Tyler, Elizabeth Tyler Walton.
Oh, by the way, I put in. I think I put it in the private chat at the start of the stream. I actually followed Cammy Kotler's Facebook page today because it popped up on my Facebook page, and it's like Cammy Kotler. It's like, wow, I remember Elizabeth, right? And she's active. She'll probably talk to you if you message her. And so I said, well, what the hell? I might as well just click the follow button. So I am. And, I don't know if I'll ever get to chat with her, but I think it's cool when these people, because, I mean, she has the message me button on her page, and I didn't click on it because I just didn't have anything to say. But, it's really nice when some of these actors from our beloved Walton show are actually still active on the internet. And, well, Mikey, who I'm talking about, the other lady,
Judy Norton.
Yeah,
I've been trying. Yeah, I've been trying to get Judy Norton. By the way, Gorilla, this is true. I've been trying to get Judy Norton to join us one of these nights for an episode.
Oh boy!
So if she can, I would love to get her up here with us.
Are you sure she's going to understand our risque take on the Waltons?
No,
Judy Norton has a great sense of humor. Judy Norton.
Yeah, she has a great sense of humor. I'm sure she'll laugh when she puts the restraining order on all of us.
I don't know about that.
I don't think she'll do that, George.
If we could get Judy Norton onto a stream, instead of reviewing an episode, we could talk about the series as a whole.
Let's not do a Walton stream per se. Let's do how about we do like a cigar lounge with Judy Norton and
as a special guest.
A special cigar lounge with Walton's fabulous actor Judy Norton answering your questions and chatting with the fans, like something like that, right? Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm going to ask her.
I will go for that. Hey, anybody, if you can get in touch with her and ask her, that'd be great. Like, let's do a live stream just discussing the series. That would be fabulous.
Yeah. That would be good. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna fly through this because there's a Miss Baby, Miss Baldwin. You excited to see me? And they try to people keep pushing through. They want their tickets. Blah blah blah. So finally, the guy's like, "How about you take your lunch break so that you can chat with these old ladies there?" Blah blah blah. And then talking. Blah blah blah. And he's packing up there. He's dreaming, and he's giving us all the stuff away. He couldn't believe he got the letters and the table and all that too. He's like, he just didn't want to ship it to Florida, but he's giving John Boy basically exactly everything he needs to go. And I can't remember the
Somehow
scene, so
I
must not
think
be important.
John Boy is the only sucker interested in buying that thing.
Well, you never know. There might be an antique dealer or a scrap metalist, a scrapper. Might offer him $10 for it. But anyhow, they're complaining about their hunger. They're waiting for Daddy to come home because I can't remember what John was out doing.
He doesn't really seriously say.
Yeah.
They go through a little routine about like him being a big businessman and firing people and foreclosing mortgages like he was a banker or something. They're just flirting.
Yeah. You know, all the big talks try to get laid, right? When you're a kid younger. All right,
Hey, you
so
gotta do what you gotta do.
And John Boy's an asshole calling you at like 10 o'clock at night. I got the store and I has to deliver a message saying that he's not coming home, blah, blah, blah. So I nice enough to deliver the message.
That's what I guess
By the way,
for having the only. That's what I guess for having the only fucking telephone in 30 miles. You know.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but they better tip him good for this message.
Like symphonic music?
Yeah. So, and this here is filler scenes here, but they're gonna go see a musical. He's off there. Then the Gotsis show up. There, blah blah blah. They're delivering a letter from Elizabeth, and I think they're just kind of snooping. They're snooping, and Cora they're just trying to get the
well-known classical conductor.
She's just trying to get the scoop.
Yeah, Olivia sent Corbeth on a mission, and she's taking it very seriously.
Yeah. So anyhow, and it's a letter. It's from Elizabeth Taylor Walton. Now, were the parents drunk when they gave her a boy's middle name?
Well, what about Taylor Swift? She's not a boy.
Or no, it's Elizabeth Tyler Walton.
Tyler Walton. Yeah.
Tyler.
Tyler.
Yeah, that is a little more masculine, but maybe Tyler have been like a great granddad or something, perhaps in the family.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Most likely it's a relative name.
Yeah, because I know my middle name. I was named after my mom's dad in my middle name.
My middle
name was made up of two uncles' names on my mother's side.
My middle name was made up on the fly because my mom told me no fucking way on my original name.
So are you saying your middle name is no fucking way?
No. It might as well be.
Might as well be.
Okay, there's another couple of them.
No, my dad originally wanted
J no fucking way M. Okay, I got it.
No, but my dad originally wanted to name me Michael and have my middle name as Jordan, but my mom told him no fucking way.
Okay, so
I quote.
You're Michael Jordan, but you don't play basketball.
Correct.
Okay. My God.
So they had to switch it. So for 10 years,
around, so it's
my grandma didn't like my first name there, so for 10 years she called me Zach.
Zach. What the fuck? Why Zach? Like,
because she liked my middle name better than my first name.
Oh Jesus.
Oh boy. And hey,
She
Curtis,
didn't like my first name.
welcome.
Hey, Curtis, hopefully you're gotten through those storms. I hope you got your power back.
Hey, Curtis.
Yeah, I hope you did, brother. Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, blah blah blah. So he writes a letter, and it's like, it's not this, blah, 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 blah. Bunch of horse shit. And this guy, now this guy is a complete, I want to call him a complete ass, but yet I understand where he's coming from. So the other guy who apparently quit there came back, he's dead broke. There, came back with his family, he has 6 mouths to feed. And this guy's firing John Boy to hire the old guy back, though the old guy quit on him. So now John Boy's getting thrown out to the wolves there, but yet just so the other guy can have his job back. Because the other guy has a bunch of mouths to feed.
Hey, Gorilla, but doesn't that sound kind of ironic? This guy has 6 kids, and he's dead broke. But the Waltons have 7 children, and they're okay. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
in the economics of 1935.
Think about earlier when John Boy first got the job, because this dude told John Boy, "Oh, I had a guy up and quit on me," and I'm like, "I'm betting that's the guy that quit is the same guy with the family."
It is the same guy. It is. Judy said it was the same guy.
So I have a question: if the guy was dumb enough to quit when he had this huge family to feed, he was dumb enough to quit a reliable job so he could be dead broke and his family could starve to death. And now this guy is going to go, well, gosh, he was an unreliable prick, but I'm going to give him a second chance because, even though John Boy has been a perfect employee, I'm just going to throw John Boy under the bus and give this unreliable asshole another chance to take the job. Does that make any sense to you guys?
No, and if you really felt bad, for me. Hey, if you really felt bad, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of odd jobs around there, like the bathroom needs painting, the garbages need taken out. I need this fixed. I need that fixed.
I think
make the guy his personal bitch.
Shit. He could have came back as a janitor or some shit.
Yeah, he should have hired the guy back as a janitor or maybe cleaning the toilets or
exactly.
No, he would be his personal bitch. He gets to do all the jobs he doesn't want to do. So when he tells you to go fix the desk, you go fix it.
I get it. Okay.
So when he tells you to go fix the desk, you go fix the desk. Hey, I don't want to go paint the bathroom. Go empty the trash. Hey, I'm pretty sure that dumpster needs scrubbing. There, pull out the knee pads.
There you go. But seriously, though, I mean, that was the weakest point of the episode for me when John Boy's been, I don't know, how many weeks has John Boy been working for this dude? A couple weeks, a month, 2 months? I don't know. Because I don't know the timeline. But John Boy has been his usual exemplary self, being a perfect, hard-working, reliable employee. And this guy goes, well, I'm just going to bring this asshole back. Sorry there, John Boy.
He had 3 weeks to get the $50, though.
Right.
Well,
so
he's doing a good job. He tells the professor that he's not going to be in. He's calling around, spending all his money there, going places to places. Well, what's this place here that they're just throwing wood into that furnace thing? Is that supposed to be like a steel mill?
Well, it looks like scrap wood. I don't think you could make much out of that. It's almost
I don't think Grandpa could come over and grab it either.
Well, I'm sure Grandpa could fashion a half a dozen really great butt plugs out of that wood, but other than that, it's let's face it, that wood is so splintered up. You couldn't build much out of that. I wouldn't want to even try. And
the scrap wood could be used like to heat the furnaces for like a steel mill or something. That's what I'm
saying. Yeah, aren't they?
That's what I'm thinking too.
Aren't they going to put it in a furnace? Like, is that not what they're doing here?
Yeah, that's what they're throwing into.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, well, throw it in the fire.
Yeah,
it's basically it's oversized kindling is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. So anyhow, blah blah blah. He's feeling bad. He can't find a job. Blah blah blah. These places are tearing it out. Then he goes back to the press squad. He thought he packed it all up.
Well,
wait. I want to show this here. So John here knows something's up. Yeah, I got pauses here. So yeah, John's just sitting here waiting for him. So like he knew he was coming home then. I don't know if he called ahead or he just had the inkling that John Boy is going to be coming home sometime that night.
No, well, maybe his dad has a form of ESP. We could go with that. Come on, he's a great dad. Maybe he has some extrasensory perception or sixth sense that he knew his son was going to come home.
I would think he's actually got what Olivia would call extra sexual perception.
Extra horn dog, perception.
All right,
perception.
Thanks for setting me up there, Mikey. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well,
what do you want from me, father? I'm a fucking failure. What do you want from me?
What'd you feel, boy?
Now watch. Now, guys, I want you to watch John's face here, in this scene right here, very closely.
all my plans. Right in the dirt.
All my plans.
Yeah. So John Boy's feeling like he just got fucked over and everything's in the dirt. Everything he worked for.
He did get fucked over. I mean, that guy should have not hired that loser back.
Well, I'm talking about with the printing press and everything.
Well, everything. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
See, I lost my job. So I couldn't afford to pay Mr. Johnson. So he just shut down and took off. Press, everything.
So John here, when John Boy's saying this, you get a slight grin, then it goes back to the poker face.
Yeah, but does he have also Gorilla? Not just a grin, but a smirk, sort of like a gleam in his
Yes.
Are we going to play the scene, or are we going to, or not? I mean,
I'm trying. I'm playing it, but I'm trying to also avoid the fucking bots too.
Of course.
Right.
God damn
it! Look at that smirk.
The whole family will be real glad.
I don't think it's a smirk. I think it's kind of like a sadness.
Oh, we kind of half missed it too there.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the family.
Get your stuff. Have to sleep in the shed. Jason's got your room. Didn't know you'd be home.
Boy, I love how that segued. He's leading him into the shed.
Yeah, he set him up there. I don't think Jason really took his room, but I think him and Mary Ellen were still fighting over it.
I think he's being kind to John Boy because John Boy said, he feels like a failure right now, like a big failure.
Yeah.
He chased his dream and he fucking lost his dream. And I think John Boy is fairly depressed at this moment. And when he says, I understand why he doesn't want to see his loved ones. Because, sometimes you got those moments in life where you just can't face people because you feel like something just did work out not well. It worked out so badly. You need to be alone and to think everything over. And John Boy's at that state. And I think Pa is doing him a great kindness by saying, look, son, let's put you, in the shed for the night and have a good sleep kind of thing.
Oh, no, he's setting him up.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that yet.
Yeah.
That's why I love this scene so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I kind of forgetting this because
yeah. So
that's what brought it back.
That's right. That's right. Everybody's in the shed, aren't they? Yeah.
So he dropped it off here, and it turns out he gets a letter, and everybody's sneaking in behind him. There, he's reading the letter. Then that's how this thing works.
The horizons of my experience and of my life.
Yeah, but everybody's happy. So his professor paid for it, but I wonder if the professor treated it like a gift, or if he has to pay back the professor.
No, yes, they have to make an arrangement to pay back the professor, Gorilla.
Well, the professor said he could settle up his debt, but did the professor pay the $50 for it? Now would that be considered a gift?
$50, and then they'll figure out a way for John to pay him back, John Boy.
Well,
Okay.
you know there was a planned spinoff of the Waltons after it ended called John Boy Hitman, but it never got developed. And that's how he was going to pay his debt off to the publisher. By the way, I have a serious question. I didn't think about this last night because I really enjoyed the episode, but how the fuck did they get this enormous printing press through that door?
I think that
the
falls
shadow
under
knows.
I think that falls under the category of very carefully. But you're also but
Does that fall under the category of plot armor?
no, very careful. But you're forgetting one little tiny detail there, PvP.
Uh-huh.
Are you forgetting how that they run a sawmill and they're really handy with the hammer and the crowbar? They can easily knock one of the walls down, move it in, and put the wall back up.
That's what I was thinking. They must have taken on a wall because that sucker is way too big to ever fit through that doorway.
So some
no,
episode
Curtis
notes.
Selby said they beamed it over. we can use Star Trek in this.
Okay, Curtis. I wasn't aware we had transporters back in 1936, but what the hell?
And then he's asking Jeremy if he has them down for the thing there, and they beamed it over.
Yeah.
So,
That is a good one.
but here's some episode notes and some interesting facts. The script was penned by Earl Hammer himself, which is fitting considering how close the story would have been to him. Virginia Gregg, who plays Miss Butterworth, only appears in one other episode, and she also played in Spencer's Mountain, but she plays in the season 6 episode 19, The Ordeal.
Yeah.
Also, Michael McDowell, who plays the character Boyd, is a brother of the actress Mary McDowell. He also appeared in the first edition season. So we'll see him in 2 more episodes here. Also, Mrs. Cox appears in another season 5 episode.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to mention that the lady that was there, Lucille Benson, who played Tilly Shanks, she passed away in 1984. She done a lot of great movies. One of them, I believe, was back in the early 80s. Yeah, she passed in 84. She died at the age of 69. She was in that movie 1941 with the late Belushi, played Gas Mama. She was in Steven Spielberg's first original movie, the TV movie Duel, as the lady at the Snake-orama. She was also in Halloween 2 as Mrs. Elrod, and she was in Silver Streak with Pryor and Wilder as Rita Babtree. And then the other lady that was in there was the actress who was in Citizens on Patrol, one of the Police Academy films. And that was Billy Bird, who played Mrs. Cox in the episode.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And we're going to get to our epilogue here. Goes,
yeah, go for it.
I had made a brief journey into the world. I'd known loneliness, desperation, and friendship, and it stretched the horizons of my experience of my life. Like the best of the journeys, it led to home again, and the whole adventure of my life was turning now in a new direction, for I was soon to become a publisher, editor, writer, and printer of a small country newspaper. Alrighty. So we're gonna start with you, Mikey.
Yes.
What did you think of this episode?
I gave it a straight up A, Gorilla. There wasn't really much to say about it. You know, it had a steady plot, and there was really no B story that I saw. It was all about the A story and how Richard Thomas, you know, he went through so many different stages of, through this whole episode. You know, he went through disbelief. He went through hoping to have a dream, but it was dashed. But then at the end, he gets his reprieve by having the printing press. I think I agree with PvP that at one point the grade went down because of that asshole boss of his. But then seeing at the end, you know, where he's able to finally get the printing press and all the family's so glad to have him back, that brought it back to the A for me. So, yeah, I gave it an A grade.
Okay. PvP, did you think?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Mikey. I'm giving it an A as well. Um, I thought it was really nice to finally get a John Boy centric episode because it's been a while, hasn't it, since we had one that focused on John Boy completely. Like I can't remember the last one, but it's been a while, and that was nice to see. It was nice to see Richard Thomas getting a lot of scenes and doing some actual acting instead of being in the background. I love the storyline. I love the multiple plot threads of the guy running the paper wanted to move to Florida, and he had such a great amount of respect as John Boy had been such a great employee, writing stories and working for the paper for some time, that he, gave him dibs on, getting the printing press. And that was really classy of him. And I like John Boy's professor understanding that John Boy was chasing his dream, and even, he might, have a little bit more, challenge time wise, but his prof was like, okay, go for it, and Paul understood. It's like, okay, John, John Boy, you gotta go you gotta do what you gotta do. Everybody was, that's one thing I like. Sometimes there's like conflict for the sake of conflict in some episodes, right? In this episode, everybody kind of, was logically and sensible, right? Logical and sensible. And I really appreciated that for a change. There was no B story that I could see, Mikey, which is another reason I bumped it up, because I generally hate B stories because they usually take away from the A story, and B stories are generally more like C stories because they're kind of like crap, right? Crap stories. So yeah, I loved it. It was basically all an A story episode. It was really good, and I love the ending when the publisher of the paper moved away to Florida, and maybe he realized that John Boy was having a problem. He realized probably John that was working his ass off trying to pay that $50, but he decided it's like, what the fuck? Instead of just leaving it there for somebody to take it away for scrap metal, I'm going to deliver it to the Waltons and have John Boy publish that paper, and even if he can only give me like $15 every now and then, it's like, I'm sure he's rich enough he doesn't really give a shit about $15 or whatever, right? So I just overall found it a very satisfying episode, one of the rare ones too where there was very little of the family in it. Like, we basically saw some of Pa. That was the main person. We saw that one scene with Grandma, but there was Olivia was not in this episode at all, was she? I don't remember Olivia at all in any scene.
She was in one scene.
Okay.
She was in the one scene in the kitchen, but that was about it.
But she was basically non-existent in the episode, as were most of the kids, right? Up until that one scene, when John Boy was going to move into town. But overall, most of the family was not an integral part of this episode at all. Also, I really loved that Earl Hamner, the creator of the series, that basically Earl Hamner was John Boy, right? He based John Boy on himself.
He was. Yeah.
And I really was just, as soon as I saw writer Earl Hamner, I was like, oh, fuck, this had better be good. And I bet it's going to be. And it was good.
Well, and the director, Harry Harris, I mean, over our experience together, guys, Harry Harris has directed some very good episodes. So when I saw his name, I was like, well, then this should be really good. I mean, he's going to focus more on the main story.
Well, Harry has directed a number of Waltons previously, right? If I believe.
Yes.
Guys.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So overall, an A episode. I almost would have put it into A+, but you know me. I always want to have a little room to maneuver, and I'm sure there might be a few episodes above this, like really mind blowing episodes, but this was a very solid episode for me, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right. Jerm, why are you giving it an F?
Germ. Germ. Oh, God. I think Germ is on mute.
Curtis here says he gave it A- for the clever use of transporter technology.
Technology.
Yeah. Germ.
Yeah, the
Hey, can
Enterprise.
you hear me?
Now we can
Yeah,
hear
Can
you.
you hear me
you now.
now? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are you giving it an F?
I don't give it an F. I give this a B minus.
Be honest.
Yeah, you had very
praise
good
for Germ.
spots. Very good spots with Pa and John Boy. We didn't have a whole lot with the kids, which is always a plus.
Always. I agreed with you, Germ. Always. Yeah.
Alrighty, and the curse has scared Germ away. As for me, this is an A+ episode. This is this would I say is one of the best episodes of the season. It's in the top 3 for me. Here so far, we only got one more episode there. But this is there's no B story. You don't have Aaron and Mary Ellen doing the shit out of you.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. No Mary Ellen. Jeez, what a relief.
Yeah, no
Wow.
Mary Ellen. And then you got no Elizabeth running around doing shit either or talking to invisible people.
It's kind of funny. We're talking that we want to get what's her face? What's her the one that plays Mary?
Judy Norton.
Judy Norton on here. We're giving the episode A+ because it hardly had any Mary Ellen in it.
Yeah.
We want to write about. We might scare the shit out of her, but if we bring her to a cigar lounge, it might be good.
Yeah.
The thing is, we'd like to talk to Judy, and we're dissing the character Judy played, not her, not her as a person.
But anyhow, it's a great, solid story, and it had some great lines in it, great advice. John Boy's trying to dip his toes out in the water again, but it still ends up going home there. It just that ending was great, and it's setting it up for the future seasons here, especially when we get to season 7. There, it's going to come up very important.
Yes, it will.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I'm sure the printing press must come into more storylines down the road, right? Because John Boy does start publishing a newspaper, does he not?
Blue Ridge. He calls it Blue Ridge. Is it Blue Ridge Chronicles?
Yes.
Yeah, I forget, but I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this fucking show in like 40 years. So you give me a break, here, guys.
Same here, PvP fucking years.
so I'm giving this one is one of my top 3 of the season. So
I agree.
An A+ for me.
I agree too.
I agree. Yeah. I think season 4 has been very inconsistent. Like we've had some good ones, and we've had some real shit ones too, right? It's season 4 is a roller coaster ride of as far as the writing goes, and I agree with you, Gorilla. I think this is one of the better ones of the entire season that we watched. Yeah,
for it definitely, and it's really what's amazing is we still have 5 seasons to go. And we still haven't seen some of the greater episodes which occur in the next few seasons. So, yeah.
It's the next year, the last one with Will Gear, season 5, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Yeah. So here we get here to hear stupid shit from Gorilla's Ham Thoughts gets 54% of the vote out of 11 votes.
There you go.
A+ to an A- got 36%. And C+ and C- got 9%.
Okay, so as Thomas Potts would say, rigged.
Rigged. Hey, I did not rig the vote. I only fortified it.
Oh, sure, Gorilla. Come on.
Hey, the 2020 election was fortified, so I fortified this vote.
Exactly.
Gorilla always guarantees that he will be number 1 in the poll.
Well, the reason I put that there is that if it's really like an F episode there, nobody's gonna listen to a review on it. They already hate the episode, so I get reminded of it.
We did pretty good tonight. We're still under 2 hours.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and take the chat here. So I voted for Gorilla in the poll. Thank
Oh,
you,
you
Scurvy.
traitor
Thank,
lemon.
Of course you
thank
did.
you for and thank you
Damn
for
it.
being here, Scurvy. And thank you, Kurt Selby, for coming. Now he has a political channel. And he also has a second channel he started up because YouTube fucked him over called Nothing to Hear, Nothing to See Here, Citizen. Curtis, if you want to put that in the chat, go for it. There, but he's a more political channel, but it's very insightful, and he tries to listen to both sides. It's very funny, and he does a stream called the Voice of Northern Oklahoma.
Yes.
And thank you, Boober. He has actually got his stream going on Cosby movie going right now on Cosby. So, and here I'm gonna pull it up here in the chat here. So, and I can't remember what the movie is tonight, but he does 3 watch parties a week on Cosby. There, and he puts the trailers for him on his YouTube channel. So, looks like an old black and white. And let's see. Mute it here, and I'm gonna put. So here's the link to Boomer's Cosby there. They'll run Babylon 5 after it. Thank you, Margaret King, for coming. She hasn't streamed in a while, but she used to do more fucking news, which was always fun. And she has that knack for remembering these little details or previous things going on. I don't know. Right here, you said this here, this thing, and she can point out the little things. She also has her bootleg theater, which is always a lot of fun. So thank you, Moira. And thank you, Outlaw Bill, for coming. Now, he has a fun channel. He has his action theater that he shows action movies during the week there. He has his Western Sundays there where they show different Westerns there. Those are always fun. I got introduced to a couple of Westerns there. He also has his Wednesdays and Saturday night karaoke's. Always a lot of fun. Make sure to check them out. And thank you, Suzanne, for being here. And I know Kevin... Thank you, FKHC 2005, for coming. He has a couple videos on his channel, so make sure to check them out. And thank you, Kevin Trekkie, for coming. Kevin Trekkie has a couple videos he just posted on his channel. They're especially of him delivering the fuel and help fight the wildfires up in the 51st state of Canada. So make sure to check out Kevin Trekkie. All right, so Mikey, what do you got going on?
Well, let's go ahead and let Resolute Germ go first, because I know, unless you have that thing with Sit Dan tonight, Germ, I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
No, Dan is on hiatus.
He's on hiatus? Okay. All right. Well, at Mikey's Who's For, we're going to be on hiatus, too, for the next 2 days. We've had a rough week. We found out one of our friends' brother has an aneurysm going on, and there's some other things happening. So... plus, we've had some suspicious characters roaming around the building lately. Probably one of them even set off the alarm tonight. I have no idea.
I thought half of your tenants were suspicious characters, Mikey.
Well, more than half hour, but we had a lot of extra police presence, if you know what I mean, around.
Good
today.
Lord! Somebody was murdered in your building. Is that what you're trying
to say?
I
hope not. Don't say that. That's not cool. Yeah, no, I hope not. But anyway, yeah, you all know about my. Pop culture shows I do all next week, Monday through Thursday, 12 noon time, straight up Eastern time. Red Dwarf Monday, TOS Tuesday, Get Smart Wednesday, and 18 Thursdays. So, and then of course I'll be with the Gorillas Cigar Lounge, helping them out as I try to on Tuesdays. So make sure you come see Mikey's Who's For, and we just got a few more subs too. So. We're only less than 40 away from 300, and we'll plan on doing a live stream when we reach 300 subs. So always expect the unexpected.
All right, thank you, Mikey. And here is Curtis's Nothing to See Here Citizen channel. So make sure. Cool. The Voice of Northern Oklahoma. Now let me know, Germ, if you have me down for tomorrow or the 14th. I wrote down the 14th, but I don't want to mess up the streaming plans.
Oh, you can come anytime you want, Curtis.
Yeah. And he says, woo woo. All right. PvP, what you got going on?
Well, last album I put up was Rick Derringer's All American Boy about a week ago, since he passed away a few weeks ago. Probably his best album. The first song, Rockin' Hoochie Coo, was a major giant hit in North America for him. I just want to ask Jerm, you mentioned, is Dan away for the weekend? I'm just wondering.
Not, he works during the week.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was just gonna, mention to Mikey, like usually lately we on Sis Dan's channel, Mikey and I and Dan have been doing watching TOS episodes together, and I know Mikey's away tomorrow because he needs a break, and I haven't had a chance to ask Jerm if he still wants to continue one tomorrow, because unfortunately he has not showed up in the chat tonight as far as I can see, and I don't have a Facebook page, a link to him. Mikey, do you have a Facebook page for Sith Dan, like you could send me or something? Like,
I can put it in the private chat. Do you mind if I just take about 2 minutes at most? I can find it.
Yeah, if Gorilla doesn't mind, I would love it, because I would like to ask him directly, because of course, I don't want to presume, because I know he always likes to do his Saturday afternoon sci-fi streams, but did you talk to him, by the way? Is he aware that you will be unavailable tomorrow, Mikey?
I believe I did mention it to him earlier in the week. So yes, he knows that I'm going to be unavailable tomorrow.
What was his response? What was his response? Did he just want to cancel it? Or?
He just told me that's fine, Mikey. He says, take all the time you need.
Okay.
I said I only need this weekend is all I need, so 2 days.
Because the thing is, I was thinking, it'd be nice if you were there, but I'd like to keep the ball, I'd like to keep the ball rolling, because, when you stop, sometimes you never get back to it. I've had that experience on channels, and I could just, I know you want to do Armageddon, so I will not ever do that one, because I know you want to do that one, but I'll just pick something off the list. I remember I sent you that list a couple of days ago. I'll just pick something at random out of there and do that if Sith Dan wants to do it. I mean, it's totally up to him, of course.
Well, PvP, I did put Sith Dan's Facebook page right there in the private chat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give it a try here.
All right, Jerem, what do you got going on?
Tomorrow morning we'll have Spider-Man and his amazing friends on Saturday morning cartoons.
Nice.
Yeah, with Firestarter.
I don't know if I'll be able to, I probably won't be there, Jerem, even though I would love to watch Spider-Man, but at citywide garage sales, I'm going to try to get rid of some of this shit in the house. So I'll be outside there they're sitting at a table, so people buy the shit up.
Don't sell the kid for too low a price.
Yeah, no. And for me,
you can't sell your children; they're priceless.
Yeah,
remember that.
All right, on Sunday we'll have. Hey, maybe I could be like Brooklyn Dad 42 there. Get some crack rocks for her. All right, but as for me, Sunday we'll have mystery movie night, since the last one went over real well.
That didn't work.
And then Tuesday we'll have a cigar lounge. Thursday, Sarah Chronicles. And next week, you guys are going to really appreciate this episode next week, because there is one horny bitch in that episode.
What's it called, Gorilla?
The Collision. The Collision. And man, she is one horny, she has nothing on she puts grandma and grandpa to shame.
Oh no! These something PvP. We're going to be making lots of Red Hook jokes next week.
Yeah, Curtis. Next year.
I think I sent you and Girl a Red Hook joke earlier today, did I not?
Yeah, you did. Grandpa.
So it's Chris is up. We posted your work. Work seems confused about when I work. All right. Yeah, my next ex-wife. All right. With that, everyone have a good night, and remember to be a gorilla. There.
Night, everybody.
Good night, Waltons fans.
And where did there it is.
Thanks to you, we climb so high together.